Hi guys, welcome to this video. This video is basically an update regarding the channel and also regarding what you guys would like to see out of it. Just out of interest, by the way guys, this is Iceland. This is a freebie, for want of a better way of putting it, from ORBX and FTX. When I bought the FTX Global scenery update, I got a free sort of one of the top layers, if you like, which is Iceland. So here we are in Iceland, flying around the fjords, and very pretty they look too. And this is again the Vertavia Sea King. In this case it's an HC4. So there we go, the cargo equivalent, not the cargo, what I'm on about, the commando equivalent. Right, so where am I going with this? Well, basically over the last 3-4 months I've put a few videos on, and as a result of which I've now got over 100 subscribers, which is absolutely epic, and really happy with that. And a lot of that goes as thanks to you guys. So that's the first bit, is to say thank you to all those who've taken the time and effort to both view videos and also particularly to subscribe. Now, for those who've subscribed or who may wish to subscribe, this is almost like a vlog. What I'm after is some input from you guys as to where you would like the channel to go. So I've kind of got 3 areas that I think would be good areas to look at, and I need you guys to give me some input and feedback as to what you think. So the first area really is looking at aircraft reviews and or tutorials. Now for XPlane, I haven't yet got that much. I certainly haven't got any scenery, but in terms of aircraft to have a look at, I've got the Javier roll-on CRJ 200, which is payware, the Flight Factor 757-200, which is also payware, and finally the Airbus DA42 Twin Star. All 3 of which are very nice aircraft and would make great videos for you guys. But given the complexity of the aircraft, it would probably need 2 or 3 episodes per aircraft just to get the best out of it. So obviously the first stage, if you like, would be a review, and then after that I would go into how I use and or operate those aircraft. So the next stage, if you like, is FSX. I've got a few FSX aircraft I could have a look at for you guys. The first ones are a couple of bits of freeware, which are by Dino Catania, both his F14 and his F35 Lightning II, both of which are lovely bits of freeware, and I would highly recommend. I know that some of his stuff now is being looked at with regards to prepared or P3D, however you want to look at it. And so with that in mind, if you like, it's certainly the up-to-date stuff, if you were to look at it that way. But also I have a couple of the nice aircraft for FSX to have a look at. One of my favourites is the PMDG Jetstream, the J4100 or the JS4100. A fascinating aircraft because it's an old school turboprop, which means it hasn't got a great deal of automation. What it does have is a lot of intricacies, particularly around engines and engine use. I have to say the rock faces on this from FTX are epic. Look at those. I mean, what a change from the default FSX. That is just amazing. I can't say anything other than that. That is just amazing. But there we go. And I've got a couple of other things to look at. I've got the PMDG 747, which is one of the older PMDG aircraft. Very nice bit of kit, but I know a lot has been done about that on YouTube. And a couple more. I've got the Just Flight Canberra PR9, which is a very, very in-depth study sim of a fascinating aircraft. But obviously, given the fact that it's 1960s technology, 1970s Cold War vintage, it does have some intricacies in flying it and operating it. So it may be that someone's looking for a little bit more in that YouTube style. and the Aerosoft Airbus X Extended, which I've only recently acquired. It's a very interesting package, but one of the things it does have is it has significant differences to that is just awesome. Loving that. I might have to get some more FTX stuff, potentially FTX England, because that's the area I predominantly fly in, but that is making me want to look closer at the FTX scenery packages. But as I say, going back a step, the Aerosoft Airbus X Extended, I've got the A320, A321. I know for a fact that they're currently working on an Airbus A318, 319 version. The 318 obviously is interesting because that has the steep approach configuration, which makes it useful for London City Airport and a couple of other unique approaches. And then really from that, there's a few differences in the way Airbus logic works, so I would be able to look at operating the aircraft, because the autopilot is a bit, or the mode control panel at the front is a little bit different in the logic of how it operates, and also the FMGS, the Flight Management and Guidance System, is different to Boeing's. And then I'll really guess the final bit is looking at sort of the more formal aspect of tutorials, both of all the aircraft I've mentioned, but also I've got a couple of specific things that you guys may or may not want to look at, most of which is around the complexity of avionics. So the two that are key here are that XPlane has just updated from 10.25 to 10.3, although 10.3 is still a beta version. And so given that, it's still got a lot of testing and it's still a little bit buggy, and there's a few issues regarding frame rates, but the biggest change it's brought in is the Garmin G4300 430 and the Garmin G530 GPS systems. Now with that in mind, actually we'll see if we can do a landing here on top of that snow on the mountainside, see if it will let us do that. Now the biggest thing for that is that previously one of the biggest complaints that XPlane had was the lack of good navigation equipment in its aircraft. So you had a lovely flight dynamics, a lovely flight model, but you didn't have any way of getting it from A to B. And even the FMS is not particularly good, that's in the, if you like, the larger aircraft. So I was looking at potentially doing a tutorial covering the GPS system in 10.25, the FMS system, and the subsequent Garmin G430, G530 update from 10.3. So if you guys are interested, let me know regarding that. And then the final one is the Airbus DA42 Twin Star payware, which I've got. That is complete with one of the most functional Garmin G1000 flight avionics systems you could get. Now, considering it's on general aviation aircraft, it's more complex than some airliners in terms of its operation and use in flight, and it can be a little bit confusing. And I've used one in real life. It's an amazingly powerful bit of kit, but it can be very, very confusing as to how to use it. So one of the things I was considering is doing a tutorial on that. If you guys have any particular wants or desires in terms of aircraft tutorials or FSX or XPlane you'd like me to look at, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm not going to be able to answer them for about a fortnight now, so that's plenty of time for you to put some remarks down and to let me know what you guys would like. So the other thing I'm potentially looking at, by the way, is looking a bit more at helicopters in both FSX and XPlane, because I think that they're a fascinating area of flight simulation that quite often gets overlooked. Unlike my landing, which is one of the reasons why I'm potentially looking at it. So with that in mind, guys, it's over to you just to give me some input and some idea as to what you would like, and thank you very much to those who have subscribed. Feel free to share the videos and the channel and to spread the word. It would certainly help me out massively in terms of knowing or being able to identify a way forwards. And likewise, if you want to help me learn to fly helicopters, then that's something I would be very grateful for. They're an incredible challenge, but they're also an incredible piece of fun. But look after yourself, guys. I shall speak to you soon, and Please feel free as ever to like, subscribe or share my videos, for which I would be very, very grateful, and I'll speak to you soon.